Okay. And then her next one, have you ever encountered clay that after a heavy rain is like walking in quicksand?
All right, that's complicated. Yes, clay when it rains becomes slicker than ice. So if it's squishy, it may probably have contained quite a bit of clay, but it's not probably pure clay. It's probably a combination of other things. Again, pure clay will roll up like a snake in your fingers, where these what we call contaminated clays that have sand will feel gritty. If it has silt, it'll fall apart. It won't stick together. Uh, just think about pottery, right? If it rolls like a snake, you could use it for pottery.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Now this next one, if the e-horizon does get anaerobic, how will we know, or how can we check if it's anaerobic if the plants start showing there are problems?
Use your nose. Your nose knows, and that's the whole point of using rocks and sand in the E horizon. It creates a barrier from going in. It can't go in. It's basically like groundwater. Well, before we effed everything up, right? Groundwater was the purest water. Everybody drank it right out of their well. You could drink any stream or river or lake you wanted until we had mass expansions and started using chemicals. So, again, the way nature cleans water is through the biology and through the organic matter. And once it gets through those layers and it hits the E horizon, it's crystal clear and it cannot go anaerobic because of the minerals. And there's a great video called The Symphony of the Soil. About halfway through that documentary, which is free on YouTube, you'll see a gentleman doing an experiment showing you how organic soils filter water. And it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Highly recommend you watch it.
And if you guys want to see something else that's pretty bizarre, you can look at filtering water, where guys are literally taking, a branch from a tree, sticking it in dirty water, and having the other end come into another glass, and how the plant literally will take out the dirt and different contaminations, and you end up with pure water in the other end. So our plants can actually purify water as well, just in their cell structure.
I'd be a little bit careful of that because it doesn't have enough time to break down anything that's really, man-made toxic that you can't see or taste.
Yeah.
So that's where nature will do it for you. And you can create an experiment yourself and clean your own water by doing exactly what he did in that experiment. So just pouring it through a very biologically active tilth. Soil tilth is the key to the whole thing.
Yep. It's amazing what Mother Nature has set up, that we just have to open our minds and start using it. So, is it okay to use a metal steel container with this system?
Well, you're going to rust. So, again, then you want to paint a coating on it. Well, that coating is going to break down and could release other things. I wouldn't use metal unless it was stainless steel, and that would be incredibly expensive.
Well, I know they're selling a lot of raised beds to a lot of homeowners and homesteaders that they're putting out in the open.
Yeah, the galvanized ones.
Yeah, the galvanized.
So galvanization is okay. It has, I think it's nickel and tin, but there is a little lead in it. But if it's sitting on the soil, that's fine. If there's water sitting on it, that's a problem. It's going to rot.
Okay. Let's see. I wonder if Spanish moss could be used.
What is a ground cover? Is that what you think? That's what he's asking?
I think that's when we were talking about the peat moss.
Okay, so I thought Spanish moss was a living moss, not a dead moss.
I've never dealt with Spanish moss at all, so that's way out of my pay grade.
Sorry, Squishy Mirror. I don't know what to tell you on that one.
Okay. Will the roots in the E horizon go anaerobic with time? Maybe using SFL 100 or some other enzymes to help decompose the roots. I see them coming out of the side of the bottom of the pot.
Well, what you're seeing is air pruning happening. That's one whole issue. But no, again, to repeat myself, if the roots get down into the E horizon, the rhizosphere itself will consume that root matter and send it up as the plant is still trying to survive in the root ball. So it'll decay very, very quickly. And I've seen it where literally 2 weeks after that cannabis plant was harvested, there's very little root ball left at all. And the sand will just push right back in and it'll be fine. The key is you don't want silt to get down in there, and that's why it acts like a sand filter.